Welcome into the live stream here from McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That's Tyler remote. It's going to be a short show today. We're about to jump right into it. Not going to do a lot of the pre-show stuff because we had some technical issues that may very well be Google related from what I've been able to determine, because I don't think it was on my end. I think it's a Google issue.
That makes you feel better.
Yeah, I mean, it's just stupid. But it's been one of those weeks, so it's
Yes, it has.
kind of par for the course for the week I've had.
Yeah.
But the week is ending on a pretty positive note, and I get to get out of town on Saturday and disappear for a few days, and it'll be good.
Let's go. We got it. We had to say hello to people, since last week was more my fault, and then I was on vacation, and you're going to be on vacation, so we got to see the peeps for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Will says the audio's odd. Anybody else having odd audio before we start? No hand raise, guys, tonight. I don't have time. Yeah, Bubba, congratulations to your Pacers about to win a world title. That's good for them.
No, you're good. You're good.
No. Oh, no. We can talk about it briefly, but no, the Pacers are going to win the title.
You can't lose your swag after game 3. Come on now.
Oh no, they gave away game 1 and then played very poorly in 2 quarters last night. I don't like the chances at all. I think people nationally are under. I don't think they're giving the Pacers the credit they deserve.
We're just making it interesting. It's okay. They're gonna be fine.
All right.
I'm ready. I got a new can. Look at this.
Yeah. How about that? Let's see. When you have to reset everything, it takes a minute to find stuff.
At least it was Google.
I'm pretty sure it was Google.
That would make sense.
All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
Welcome into episode 286 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That's Tyler Siskey, and he's in South Carolina. I'm in the Clark Ford Studios here in Oxford, at least for a couple of days. I know we've missed some shows last week. We're going to miss more next week. Kind of is what it is. It's summer. If you don't take break during summer, you don't ever take a break. And I've had years when I didn't take a break. I'm taking breaks this summer. Plus, I've got a lot of stuff going on that I can't talk about. It's being resolved quickly. I'm thrilled, but I still got to be careful with what I say and don't say. So anyway, all of that stuff will come out in the wash. But we're brought to you each and every show by Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Neal, I'm rocking with a guava strawberry today. I went by and saw some friends today. Some friends, some mutual friends, at Clemson today. I went by Clemson today, and I stopped by the 7-Eleven right in Clemson, and I saw this cool can, and I just had to get it. So it's the same guava strawberry. I didn't know if it had some kind of extra kick in or something, but it is a new can. So how about that? But Neal, the Cooper Chevrolet chat is already bumping, and you can get a truck just like I did last Saturday, just like I got a brand new GMC truck. You can take over $14,000 off the MSRP on the new Silverado pickups, or you can get financing as low as 2.9% for 72 months. At Cooper Hyundai, you can get as low as 3.99 APR on the Hyundai Elantra, the Tucson, the Santa Fe, or up to $2,000 bonus cash right now. I actually roll with I got the GMC, I got a Denali. How about that? How about that? So got me a new little truck. So I'll be pulling up to your house in a brand new deal. I see what you're doing over there, and we haven't got through the ad reads. I see you over there.
I'm ready.
Don't be sneaky. I saw it.
I know what's coming, and getting ready for the pyrotechnics.
Neal, we're also brought to you by the official RV dealer, County Line Campers, the official RV dealer of McCready and Siskey. right now, you can get the road trip that you've always wanted to get started right here at County Line Campers, located in Gulfport, Mississippi. I-10, exit 38. From small, cozy campers to luxury motorhomes, you can get unbeatable deals, flexible financing, and free orientation with every purchase. Our team of experts are here to guide you every mile of the way. When you purchase from County Line Campers, you get full transparency every step of the way with no hidden fees ever. How about that?
How about
So
that?
make sure you check out our good friends at County Line Campers. Hey, also, before I move on, I'm kind of the same deal. I don't want to talk about all that stuff, but I want to give a big shout out to Rob at County Line Campers, Trav at Kia Meridian, which we'll do in a minute, and then Bob at Monster Energy. Talked to them last week, let them know, we wouldn't be doing a show last week, and just going through what I was going through, and just phenomenal people. So it's really awesome to deal with great people from the advertising side. And so make sure you guys, if you go out and get a chance to go by County Line Campers or get you a Rain or go by and see Kia, Trav at Kia or Greg Hooper Chevrolet, whoever, they do it. They're just good people. So fired up about that. Hey, before you start, we'll get started because we're not going to be on here long today. Before you start burning matches, how about this? I got some news update for you. So I guess we're going to have to call him the official recruit of the McCready and Siskey podcast, Harrison Luke, the official 2027 recruit. Picked up a Georgia offer today.
Oh,
how about that?
How about that?
My man went and verted 40 inches today with a 10-9 broad. Get you some of that.
How about that?
So shout out.
That might be an interesting recruiting battle, Georgia and Clemson.
I probably will break some news for you here too. It was can I break some Ole Miss recruiting news on your show?
Why not?
They also offered him today. It just hasn't been
posted.
How about that? How about that? We'll get another chip off the old block. we could get another Golden Flake commercial right there. How about that? That would be awesome.
I'm trying to decide what I want to say.
My man's good though. We went by, took the kids this morning. I got 800 nephews.
It'd be hard if I were Matt Luke. It'd be tough. That'd be tough. That'd be a lot. But now
Matt's great. Matt's great. You know how
Matt's one of those people that probably has a lot of. I'm not. I can't relate to that sentiment at all from people, and so because coaching there are people that love it so much that even when something horrible happens, they still love it, and I can't relate to that. And so,
here's the best thing: is like when you get been through a hand raised guy here, your resentment is never to the school because the school didn't do anything wrong to you. It's certain people that were employed by the school at that time or influencers of that school at the time. It has nothing to do with the actual school because 99.9% of the people, wherever you're at. And I've had good experiences everywhere. I like everybody. I mean, I don't think there's really anybody. I don't have any ill will toward a university for anything. And coaching's a little bit different. It's usually narrowed down to a single individual. But shout out to my guy Harrison Luke, man. By the way, 40-inch vert in 10-9, and he's big. I saw him Sunday. He's getting big. I mean, I'm like, okay. I mean, like. And he's legit, like he doesn't have a lot of film, as much film from last year because he was hurt. So he's been doing the camp circuit. And so I've seen some stuff and I'm like, damn, like he's legit. Like he's going to be really good. And I may or may not say, like I was talking to my son earlier and I said, look, he's probably an extreme breath of fresh air to some of these coaches because he's not out there hunting NIL. You know what I'm saying? Like he's actually wanting to work and get better like what it used to be. You know what I mean? He's not out looking for everything, which is his fresh and visit time and camp circuit. So shout out to my guy, Harrison Luke. I'm fired up for him. All right, we're going to hop right in here and let you go ahead and get your pyrotechnics out. I'm actually not going to be as long on this as you think, but it did during our break. The House settlement was settled and agreed upon by Judge Wilkins there. I don't know how many matches you'll be able to get through here because I'm going to be pretty quick.
You got a lot.
You got a lot. You got all deal in there.
Big I might even light some candles here so I can just watch the films.
All right, so I just want to kind of do a Cliff Notes version of where things are. Look, roster limits were the big holdup the last time. They're basically going to be grandfathered in. And so players that were released in or cut in preparation for the 105 can now be grandfathered in. They can come back. A lot of people have moved on to different places, but they will be able to be grandfathered in until they get down to the 105 in football limit. And you'll have to. I think you talked about basketball the other day. What is basketball's number now? Do you know?
15.
15. Okay, so football wise will be cutting a lot more, obviously, and basketball redoes their deal every year anyway. All right, so here's what I really want to talk about with this. So I got questions still, but I'm not alone in this. Having to do a lot of talking since last week with clients and been on the phone a lot the last week or so. There is just a lot of. It's very interesting, Neal, to me, doing what I do, is seeing how many athletic departments are treating things differently and are getting different interpretations of things. One thing I don't understand, and I mean, of all the stuff that I do with it, the thing that Tyler doesn't understand is how not Title IX, which from the money stand part, but Title IX from the scholarship part, because people are adding additional scholarships. So like baseball, a lot of baseball teams are going to 34 from like 11.7.
Yeah.
So how is that not affecting Title IX? I don't understand that part. And some football are going up to 105. Some are staying at 85, but like there is increased male scholarships. Nobody can really explain to me how Title IX is not impacted here. And it's almost like they're ignoring it a little bit. That part I don't understand. Just being transparent, I don't know.
Title IX's federal legislation. I don't know how you get around it. I don't think you can. Ultimately, I think someone will sue and they'll win.
But there's not anything being taken away from females when it comes. I don't know if this is the way. There's nothing being taken away from females when it comes to the scholarships because they're maxed out anyway. But the whole reason that you had all these men's sports that were on halves and all that stuff was for Title IX. And all of a sudden we're taking those sports and bumping them. I mean, are we adding? I know we're not adding more female sports, but in this world, so that part I don't understand, and nobody can explain it. The best part is no one in athletics can explain it to me either. So I will figure it out together, I guess. The other interesting thing for me as we move forward in this new world, however long this lasts, is seeing how different athletic departments are splitting up their number, their percentage rev share number, right? And I think you see schools that are trying to be really competitive in three sports, and trying to be competitive in football, basketball, and baseball. They're having to give a big piece of that pie to other sports.
Yep.
And there are some that are not. I know one at 90 going to football. I know one in the mid 80s going to football. And then I know some footballs in the low 60s, right? So that's probably the lowest I've heard is like 62, I think is the lowest I've heard. And so how they're splitting up these percentages rev share wise is going to be interesting to me. And, it's just going to be interesting. Some teams are doing it completely different. All right. And then let's go to Neal's favorite part right here is now we on this show, we have referred to it as Deloitte for a long time. They have now officially named it NIL Go. It's going to be Neal's favorite thing as we move forward. Hopefully we don't have to talk about it a whole lot. But NIL Go is basically trying to take the place of pay for play. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding here from a lot of people. I actually don't think this will be as
rev share is replacing pay for play.
Correct. The original design, right, is for rev share to be pay for play.
NIL Go is replacing if this system actually goes into effect, and I don't think it will. If it actually goes into effect, NIL Go is legitimizing NIL.
Right. So the best way I was describing somebody the other day is like all of your NIL rev share is pay for play, like that's how that's designed, right? And then NIL Go is supposed to be for pay for play, right? And so there are ways to manipulate it, right? And
hold on, because I think you've got it confused. The rev share is actual pay for play.
correct. That's what I said.
NIL Go is to establish a clearinghouse to approve actual NIL deals, where a player is not getting paid for his performance. To perform,
Correct.
he's getting paid for an actual service that he is providing to some sort of corporation.
Yeah, any third party. So any collective deals, right?
Right.
Or Joe's Tire Shack or whatever, right?
Yeah. And
so that's NIL Go,
so
right?
NIL Go is going to determine whether a deal can be approved, whether it is actual market value. And I don't know how in God's name that holds up 1 second in a court case. No, it has no chance. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with you, but here's the thing: is I think there's a lot of misunderstanding with this. And again, this is my interpretation, mine, and about probably I'm going to be honest with you, about 70% of the teams. This is another thing that's not been very clearly explained to a lot of teams. I asked a question. I was working on manipulating cap yesterday. I'll be transparent with you. I was working with friends and clients on manipulating caps yesterday. Okay, so we start going through everything. I sent the same question about manipulating the cap. I sent the same question to about I sent 7 different text messages, literally copy and paste. I got 4 different responses to the same question. So the confusion in how compliance is actually telling the coaches how to do things is totally different everywhere. But here's the deal, right? So the whole point of NIL Go is to take, like you just said, is to take away pay for play through collectives and whatever, right? The amount of market value, quote unquote market value, I don't think if Austin Simmons, the quarterback at Ole Miss, if he goes and does a deal with Zaxby's, they're not going to question the market value of that. It's more just to make sure that they're doing the work and it's to certify that it's not pay for play, right? Now, let's talk about how to manipulate the cap. Like this is something they're going to have to police. This is what I don't know how they're going to do this, okay? All right, so let's say I want to be the Grove Collective. I would not, if I right now, the way the rules are written, I would make them stop me. You're the Grove Collective. You can be the Grove Collective, be Tennessee, Texas A&M, these people who have shown the ability to fund their teams through their collective. Okay, I would run my entire roster through NIL Go. I would say, hey, we're going to have these signings these days, whatever your work is. You run your whole team through that. Okay, run the whole team through that. And then they come back and they say, okay, that deal is only worth $100,000, whatever it is. Well, that's bonus money you can put basically on top of your cap. And so you can start stretching these caps beyond what you're doing by actually doing it legally. Now, how are they going to police that? That's going to be interesting. So for me, it's not really, I don't think they're going to do this throw out thing that the market, I think the things that, like you said, that you're like, hey, I don't know how they're going to put market value on this. I actually don't think that is actually going to be a problem in the end. I think that will actually work out okay. I think the bigger problem in NIL Go is going to be how they police people using NIL Go to stretch the cap, if that makes sense. Like I think your part is actually going to be okay. I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be one of these deals where, hey, this kid's going to make $6 million. Nope, he's worth $1 million. I don't think that part is going to be a problem as much as it will be the other direction of using NIL Go legally by the book to manipulate the cap. And that's very easily done if people want to do it. And that's one way people have discussed doing it. The bigger problem, I see the lawsuit coming, and you can go ahead. This will be, and you're going to agree with me 100% with this because you've talked a little bit about this before briefly in one of our podcasts. Right now, there's also confusion on when a high school recruit, when does he go into effect with NIL Go? Is it signing? Is it an enrollment date? I've gotten 2 different answers, just to be honest. I've gotten both, and I've asked multiple GMs in the SEC, in the ACC, the Big Ten. I've gotten different answers. and they're getting told different things. That's what makes this frustrating for coaches, right? Because they just can't get an answer. And I asked, and this is a quote, you'll like this one. I had to, I'm not going to say who it is. I got this, I'm going to quote him. I'm not going to say who it is. This is from an SEC GM. I said, all of these interpretations, I said this to him. I said, you'd think they'd make it clear for everyone. I said, I've heard of 1,000 different interpretations. I said, about par for the NCAA. And he goes, that's because the NCAA doesn't know. and so I'm just like, it's a mess. But here's where the problem will go, right? So there's a way right now to manipulate everything, right? So there's 41 states, Neal, that allow high school kids to get NIL. 41 states. There are 9 that aren't yet. What's to keep somebody from signing a guy to an NIL deal? It's not going through. It's paid out before the kid enrolls or before he signs, or to guarantee that the kid signs somewhere or goes somewhere. What's to keep that from happening? And now there's talk that they're already going to make the high school stuff subject to NIL Go as well. That's where the lawsuit will come in my opinion. That'll be the first one. I don't know how you can NIL Go can hold somebody that's not a part of your organization accountable. So that will be interesting on that part. But here's at the end of the day, this is pretty simple though. At the end of the day, however long the system lasts, I do think I'm with you 100%. I think that it's going to get sued and all this stuff's going in, but that takes time. So how long does it last before something changes, right?
It's so stupid. The whole thing is stupid. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know how an organization, in this case called NIL Go, that is contracted through one of the parties can police a party that didn't agree to this settlement.
No, I agree. Like I said, I don't think that part of it.
I don't know how that works because it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah,
and so what do you do with because you're still going to have fans that want to give money to the collective. So the collectives are going to have money. Now they're going to have legitimate NIL deals, which are what? I mean, they tweet out something. I mean,
yeah, whatever. I think they're going to have to come up with a work, and make sure that they do the market for the work. Like you can't get $100,000 percentage, whatever your market is. Maybe if you're somebody that has a huge social media following, maybe yours is better. If it's a public arrangement, I don't know. But at the end of the day, this is kind of the one consensus that all coaches I've talked to in the last 2 weeks, all GMs, everybody I've talked to, the one consensus that kind of has come up is, and it's not a shocker, but at the end of the day, however long this system lasts, whatever it is, the success of it or whatever is going to determine how the College Sports Commission, which we're going to briefly talk about next, is able to police NIL Go. That's going to be the whole trick kit cam and caboodle of this deal. So we'll see there. All right. So Brian Seeley, I'll wait till he gets back on this. We'll talk about one more thing when he gets back. But yeah, just so the fans know, the NIL Go thing, I don't think it's going to be, from the market standpoint, I don't think reevaluating how much somebody's worth, I don't think that's actually going to actually be the problem. I think the problem is going to be policing it to keep people from manipulating from the cap. I guess that's my point. And I understand the fears and the worries about saying, hey, this guy's worth this much, this guy's worth this much. I just don't think after a short period of time, we'll kind of figure out it's going to more be about how to keep the teams from extending the cap. Because right now, the way the rules are written, if you got a really good collective, you can probably extend your cap by 50 to 70% legally. And so can every team do that? Or are they going to allow that to happen? Are they going to police it? So that's kind of where the confusion lies, and it's based on the interpretations. That's just basically how we're going there. Drew says 2 paces out of tube is impossible to cap salaries after they've been deregulated. So here's the argument that they will make, Drew, and I don't necessarily agree with it. I actually don't care. But by saying that they're not really capping you. Because you can be signed to whatever they want to sign you to. and then you can do whatever works. So they're really not. That's their argument they make on that side. I've said this. I'm not going. I mean, I've said it till I'm blue in the face. I think we're putting Band-Aid on bullet wounds until we do collective bargaining. Things break off. There's not going to be. It's never going to be fixed. It'll just continue to be in court. Now it's going to slow it down, and I think there's going to be some market correction. I think there's going to be some things there, but like I said, I don't think it's going to be as bad as what everybody thinks. Blake says, "Why not just break the rules for something you know that can be sued and will be different in 3 years minimum?" All right, we'll go ahead and talk about that. I don't know where Neal went to. I know he's had something going. All right, so there he is. All right, so Friday, and this was kind of lost in translation under Friday's deal. Friday, the College Sports Commission was started, and Brian Seeley was named the CEO of College Sports Commission Group. This will be the enforcement of the NCAA as it relates to basically all power money, basically money-making sports moving forward. And this was a very interesting hire. It's got a lot of people's. I talked to one in particular that said, "Man, y'all need to really dig into this guy." And I did off his advice. So Brian Seeley, I think Neal will find this very interesting. Brian Seeley was working for the Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
He was hired by Major League Baseball. He's been a career fixer. That's his deal. He was hired by Major League Baseball to clean up the PEDs in baseball. And he did that. Now he's moved over here to do this. They will be the enforcement arm. It's not going to be the NCAA anymore. It's going to move over to the College Sports Commission. There is, I would say, I don't want to call it hope. I call it scared optimism that this guy is going to probably make examples out of people early on because he does not care. He is a no bullshit kind of guy. This is not a guy you want to piss off. He is really good at what he's good at. He's a good enforcer. He's a great investigator. He's done investigating for a long time. So don't think the big thing is I don't think he's going to speed up some things, going to do things. That will be his whole. You'll know a little bit about if this thing is going to work or not based on how he does that. And he is going to try. I don't know. Again, legal stuff, have no idea, but I can tell you that. The other thing Neal will like about this, because Neal's been calling for it since he arrived with the burning matches, they are going to, first things first, they're going to create a database, transparency of deals, to try to get some of these wacky agents out and all the stuff that's going on right now. I think Neal may even agree with me on this. I think in my opinion, if they can get this through, if they can create the database and create transparency for the first time, I will actually think, wow, wait a minute. We may be turning the corner on something that can start moving. We're not there yet, but at least stop the ball from rolling down the hill a little bit and pause it. We may not stop it from rolling, but we can definitely slow it from rolling down the hill with transparency.
I mean, it's the only way you're ever going to get actual intelligent discourse on fair market and things of that nature is if things are transparent. Yeah, I get tired of the comparison to professional sports. Professional sports are organized immensely more than the train wreck that is college athletics.
100%.
And one of the reasons that pro sports works is that the contracts are public. I mean, Major League Baseball beat writers have websites they literally can go to at their fingertips and pull up every Major League Baseball player's contract, all of the details of the contract. And,
yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know if it's going to be public, but it's going to be public for kind of like the portal is, right? So you'll probably get the same kind of deal.
Public because the fear of the public part. And this wouldn't apply to anybody in our audience, right? Because those people they're hardcore, they're in.
Right.
But your mainstream fan, if he or she read what some players made, they would go, "This is stupid. This is stupid. I make what to teach?" and he makes what? No, I'm out. You're giving money to that? I mean, that's why they don't want that public. That going public would absolutely, this is my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, I think it would reduce attendance by at least 25% within 2 years.
Hey, I got to tell you something funny. I went to see a friend at a football facility, and summer workouts have started. And so I park in the players' parking lot in the back, and I start walking to the front door, and I'm like, golly, look at all these, a lot of nice cars in the parking lot. And I made the comment, I was like, well, you can tell that NIL is here. He said, why is that? I said, because it's not all Ford Explorers. It's not all Dodge Chargers. A lot of variety of cars now. Yep. It's not all the same car. You know, there was a time not too long ago you could go to a player's parking lot and it looked like a dealership. Yep. The same brand, same car. Nope. It was very spread out. It was very spread out, Neal. You'd be impressed. We had all kinds of different cars this time. I said, yeah, you can tell the NIL's here. All right.
Yeah, people hear me say that and they think that I don't want the players to have this or have that. I'm fine with the players getting paid. I don't really care how much they get paid. I'm simply saying I do believe that if it's one of the reasons I don't think this this House settlement's going to work, because I think the toothpaste is out of the tube. I don't know how many people just voluntarily take pay cuts. You're going to have to reduce payrolls if you're going to stick to the House settlement numbers. You're going to have to drastically reduce payrolls, and I just don't know that you're going to be able to get guys that found out that are coming in going, well, the guy in front of me last year made $500,000. He's gone. I'm in his spot. I want 500 plus cost of living raise. I want 550. And they're like, well, but that's not, we don't have that. We're going to have to find you an NIL deal. And the guy's going to be like, yeah, but I don't want to, because they don't want to do NIL. I mean, I'll give you an example. When we were doing the player shows on MPW Digital, they hated those shows. The kids didn't want to do the show. It was like, oh, damn, that's 30 minutes of my day.
Yeah.
Can I just get paid? I remember telling Davison Igmanosin, I was like, look, man, I can say this now, he's been gone. And I like Davison. He was just a high school kid at the time. Basically, he was 18. I was like, look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not making enough from this to care. So I don't care if we don't do the show. Like, we can kill it right now. But here's the thing. When we kill it, you're not getting paid. So figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with it. Like, in fact, I remember telling him, if you tell me today, yeah, let's kill it, I'm going to go celebrate. I'm going to go pour a beer downstairs. Like, thank God. But if you want to get the money that you've agreed to, you got to do the show. Because I can't give you a check, because the way it worked was the company paid me and I paid him. I said, if I'm giving you a check and you're not doing anything, I become a booster, and I don't want to be a booster. And so ultimately he did the show, but it was pulling teeth, man. They didn't want to do it, And I get it. But so that's where this is going to be fascinating. Is it's one thing to go, yeah, we're going to find work product for these players to produce to get NIL. Okay, well then they actually have to go do it. And a lot of them don't want to do it. They just want to get the money.
You're not going to feel, because of the way people were able to manipulate this with collectives and everything else and front loading and all the tricks that everybody's been doing. I don't think in any sport, in my opinion, you're going to feel any roster effect for the entire 25-26 season. It's going to be, you're not going to feel the pay cut stuff until it comes into the 26 rosters.
Yeah. Yeah. We're a year away.
26, 27 rosters.
Yeah,
so we're a year away.
So
it's going to be a problem.
I'm going to go, see, it works. And I'm going to go, you're not there yet.
Not there yet. And so the 26, 27 rosters, and the one we were discussing, and I was discussing with a friend of mine, was basketball rosters. Like, if you look at all these percentages, right, that are going out there, some of these basketball rosters are spending more than their football rosters, because basketball prices were absurd.
Yeah.
This football season, right?
Yeah. I mean, guys, Guys, frontline guys getting $2.5 million. Well, the whole house settlement doesn't provide $2.5 million for a whole
like
roster.
the high end was doing 3, right? I mean, something you'll have to give.
Like the kid that went to Kansas State, Haggerty. I mean, he was asking 2.5. I don't know what he ultimately got, but he got something fairly close to that, is my understanding. Well, let's take Kansas State. Their basketball portion of NIL is going to be about $2 million.
Yeah,
so give it all to him. What do you do with the other guys? It doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. Most basketball will be between 2 and 3 per rev share. What happens, right? I mean, we'll see. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow for some people.
They're not going to. We'll see on that. They're not going to swallow it. They're going to. That's when people are going to start suing.
And no, I agree. I agree that they're going to sue. My thing is this: is how long does it stay in litigation, right? Like I agree they're going to sue.
Oh well,
how long?
All you have to do, Tyler, is get it. You don't have to litigate the whole case. You just got to get a judge to file an injunction, and then that's that. We've already been down that road. We've already been.
See. Speaking of, all right, moving on. Speaking of, because we got to get out of here. I don't know if you saw this. This happened about an hour and a half ago. Zakai Zeigler from Tennessee was denied. This is the only court case that the NCAA has won. Zakai Zeigler has been denied by a judge for a federal injunction to play his 5th year. He is going to appeal. But I found this interesting, that there's been 19 court cases on eligibility. The NCAA has won 16 of the 19 of the court cases, which is a high percentage. And Charlie Baker came out and said that they're going to appeal the other 3. So for this 5th year extra eligibility stuff, I don't know the legal part of how they're winning, but they're winning. So they've won 16 of 19. Zeigler was denied, so that'll be something interesting moving forward.
Yeah, that's
all right.
That's going to be one that I'm kind of hopeful for everybody that the NCAA has figured out a way to win those cases and keeps winning them, because if you open that Pandora's box, there's no struggle anymore.
Well, it kills this. There will be no high school kids ever signed, right? So it's just it'll literally kill the sport from inside out.
Hey, Tyler.
All right.
Yes, sir. This is for those of you wanting out of corporate America, looking for your next business venture. If you're interested in learning about buying a business or a franchise, Andy Ludicky can help. He's a longtime Rivals board member, a diehard college football fan, and a franchise veteran. Andy will work with you to help you find a franchise or business that fits your DNA, your skill sets, your goals. Andy's a terrific guy. He loves to help others. Just give him a call. Learn about his process and services, which are 100% free. It's a no-brainer for those of you wanting to get into business ownership. Andy, speaking of NIL, he'll do a deal with your favorite college baseball team. So for every person that he works with from here, he'll donate $500 to $1,000 to your favorite university's baseball team. Call Andy, great guy, tons of business experience to lean on through your process. It's Andy at myperfectfranchise.net or 404-973-9901. We're also brought to you by Parish Brewing Company, located in the heart of Cajun country in Broussard, Louisiana. Their simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer. They've got Dr. Juice. It's a highly crushable juice bomb, your new go-to IPA, 6% ABV. They've got Ghost in the Machine, one of my favorites easily. It is a double IPA brewed with obscene quantities of hand-selected Citra hops from their favorite farm in Yakima Valley, Washington. You can check it out as well. They've got Canebrake. They've got Envy. All sorts of items there. All sorts of products, I should say, at Parish Brewing Company. Wherever you look for beer, at your bar, your restaurant, your grocery store, look for Parish Brewing Company.
Neal, at Kia of Meridian, we've got the coolest whips and the coolest people to help you drive off in style, whether you're looking for the fuel-efficient K4, a spacious Telluride, or something sporty like the K5 or Seltos. We've got it all at prices that will make you say, let's roll. Don't let the tariffs scare you away, because we got interest rates as low as 1.9% on select models. Why? Because they're built right here in the U.S. of A. And most importantly, Neal, I know you've been waiting to hear this. Mm-hmm. When you go to Kia of Meridian and you mention McCready and Siskey, you know what they're going to let you do?
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel! And win awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. So check them out at Kia Meridian and give them a call at area code 601-483-6444. I'll get the last one. I'll hit my other one right when we close up here in a second. Real quick, closing up. I know you saw this. Aaron Rodgers deal, which was the worst kept secret in the history of NFL. Aaron Rodgers going to Pittsburgh. I'm kind of excited. Like I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. I have to admit, I'm a big Aaron Rodgers guy. I may be tipping the scales to little Steelers, even though they're in the same division with the Bengals, because the Bengals can't get anybody's contract right. So I don't know. Besides, they're going to have Burrow, Chase, and T out there, but we may not have a defense over there. But I'm excited to see what it looks like in Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers in that offense.
Yeah, I mean, I like Aaron Rodgers. I watched the documentary on him. I thought it was interesting, and it made me like him more than I previously had, and I always had kind of felt somewhat ambivalent about him. I like guys in sports that are not all sports all the time. I find those people to be sometimes kind of boring. He's certainly far from boring. He's just old. 41. That's just you're just
pouring one out for the old guys. Let's go.
I mean, I'm cheering for him. I mean, I'm an old guy now. I'm cheering for the old guys. I'm skeptical.
He's probably in better shape than you and I were at 41.
Let's see it. When I was 41, I was in the process of shedding weight at that point.
Yeah. All right, we got to talk about it. I've been trying to figure out how to talk about it. Like, people are concerned about you. I just want to let you know that I got text messages. I got 2 different text messages. Okay, late last night that was like, man, if you talk to Neal, I mean, I'm worried about Neal. I don't want to. I know we got to talk about it. I'm gonna let you get it off your chest. I know you're pissed, probably. I don't know. First of all, we haven't done a show since Sunday. You told me that you went to game 2 and it was the best sporting event you'd ever been to.
Yes, most fun sporting event I've ever attended in my life. Not even close.
Awesome, and you've been to a few. All right.
I don't get to go to a lot of sporting events as a person. When I go to a sporting event as a media member, I don't know that I ever consider any of them fun. It's work.
Right.
I'm not emotional. I'm for better or worse, depends on the person. Some people think this is not the way to do the job. Some people think it is the way to do the job. I'm not going to argue with anybody at this point in my career. I've heard both sides of it. I'm a firm believer that I can't do my job well if I'm emotionally attached to the game that I'm covering. That's what I believe.
Well, you can do that as a coach.
That's what I believe. I could be wrong. I've covered a lot of football games that I'm sure for the people in the crowd, it was incredible fun. When you're writing and you're in a press box, and now look, there are lots of people in the press box with me at all of these games that are emotionally involved in these games. And when they end, they can't write. It happens all the time. They can't, or they can't write well. The stuff that they write is super emotional. Either, wow, we just won the championship of the whole wide world, or oh my God, the world has crashed and burned. Everyone's dead. Nothing will ever be good again. Those people.
All right, let me ask
you. I got to go to this game as a fan.
What was number one for you? Like before then, that's what I was going to ask you. Is before then, what would you have said was the best one you'd been to? World Series,
Blackhawks, Blues, Western Conference Finals.
Okay,
crazy.
Like it looked like it was an awesome environment. But anyway, game 3, the Thunder. I did not get to watch game 1 because I was with family. But get to watch 2 and 3.
Game 1 will haunt the Thunder for a long time. It will.
I just saw this about it.
Game 1 will haunt the Thunder for a long time. They led by 15 in the fourth quarter, led by 9 with less than 3 minutes, lost it on Tyrese Halliburton's 3 with 0.3 of a second left. That will be the game that will haunt the Thunder and fans for a long time. It won't be game 3. It will be game 1.
I think it's a must win, but I think they'll come out. They'll get game 4, and then they'll be back. They'll have home court advantage back.
I do think this. I think whoever wins Friday night will win the championship.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Thunder will come back and get them. They're just too talented.
The Thunder's problem is that last night, before last night, Indiana had not won a game where they'd shot less than 36% from three. They shot 33% from three last night and won the game. The odds are, by average, that they're going to shoot better in game 4 than they shot in game 3. I thought Halliburton last night was terrific. The Thunder had a hard time for the first time in the series really controlling him. Benedict Mathurin was terrific off their bench. Their bench was really good. The Thunder's bench was pretty bad, frankly. And if you're Indiana, what you had to be encouraged by was that you kind of out-thundered the Thunder. You played defense. You took the Thunder out of their sets. The Thunder, if you look at just like their offensive numbers on like synergy, if you take the turnovers away, they played a really good game. Points on possession, their points on pick and roll, points on ISO, all of those things were really solid. But they turned the ball over, I don't know, it was 19 times. Careless turnovers. And I don't know whether that was from exhaustion. Indiana played very physical basketball from the opening tip. The way the game was officiated allowed for it. And I thought they wore the Thunder out. I thought at the end, the Thunder looked tired. It's the first time, and I've watched this team probably play 90 games this season. It was the first time this season that I thought this team's tired. And they've got a short turnaround, and they got to play game 4. And, they've been in this spot before against Denver, in Denver, and they won it. It was a brutal game that somehow they won it. So they've done it before. They can lean on that, but this will be different. This will be hard. And unlike Denver, Indiana's deep. They play a lot of dudes, and they don't get worn out, and they throw people at you in waves. And so it's going to take quite an effort on the Thunder's part. There were a couple of moments last night. Fourth quarter, up 4. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander took an open 3. A little step back, open 3. Got a great look at it, missed it. Thunder got the rebound. Holmgren got a wide open 3, missed it. Indiana went down, scored in transition. So instead of a 7-point game, it was a 2-point game, and I thought that was a key moment.
Yeah. I think they'll get tomorrow night, and then I think they'll go back and they'll go up 3. I think they'll go 3-2. It may go 7 now. I think they'll win the next 2, and then I think they'll end up, may go 7, but I think they'll end up winning the series now. But I'm with you. If they got to win tomorrow night to make that happen.
From your mouth to God's ears, I'm not as optimistic about it, just based on the fact that I expect Indiana will shoot the ball better in game 4. And look, the Thunder got to figure out this full court press. It's a problem for them. It's why I've pushed back all year against all these people who just hate the NBA. I'm like, dude, if you hate the NBA, here's my problem with the NBA haters. Like, if you hate the NBA because the NBA went super woke in 2021, I'm with you. Hey, I get it. I sign off. I agree. If you hate the NBA because Adam Silver was a complete hypocrite about China, I got it. I'm with you. I'm cool. I mean, I was able to overlook those things because I like it so much. But if you hate the NBA because they don't play defense, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're just a total buffoon, and you should go watch. You shouldn't. Don't turn around and then tell me, God, college basketball is awesome. No, it's not. Nope. If you go, you know what? I hate LeBron. He's a complete hypocrite, and I'm okay. I'm with you. I get it. I totally get it. If you're like, I hate the NBA because all the media just talks about the Lakers and the Warriors. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. But when you go, man, I hate the NBA because they don't play defense. these are probably the two best defensive teams in the league, and that's why they're there. So
yeah, it's a very. I hate that I missed game 1, but I did get to watch 2 and 3. I'll be watching tomorrow night, but yeah, I'm with you. I think you're a little I'm being your friend here. I think you're a little too close to the situation,
I mean, I hope I'm wrong.
mad.
I
feel very confident that they're going to win the next 2. Then I don't know what happens in game 6, but I think they're going to win the next. They will be 3-2 when they come back to Indy.
I mean, look, if they win tomorrow and they get home court back and they go win game 5 in Oklahoma City, and I kind of feel pretty confident that they would win game 5, then
they're good.
There's a real chance that it's a 7-game series and that we get that game. But the people in the media that are doing this, wow, this is Cinderella. I'm like, no, man, since January 1st, they have the second best record in the league. I mean, the only team that has a better record in the league is the Thunder. And the Thunder have had some weird moments in the postseason. And if you look at Indiana, they really haven't. They've kind of cruised.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, we're wrapping up. Big Cinderella. I'm pulling for Murray State. I don't know. I'm pulling for Murray State. I'm pulling for Arkansas in the College World Series. One, because I think I want to see Van Horn win one. Just me personally, because I think he's that good of a coach. And then the Murray State story. You can't not love it. Like,
sure,
they tried. So the other night we were watching it as a family, the game 3, and I felt bad for him. I was like, if this dude they dogpiled and then they called that he wasn't interference, they reversed it. I was like, if this dude goes yard right here, like, and walks it off for Duke, it's going to be bad.
That would be bad.
But shout out.
They were a fun story. They were impressive in Oxford, just the way, not on the field necessarily. They were impressive on the field too, but off the field they appeared to be a first-class group, and I liked the coach. He was a real nice guy. I talked to him briefly. I mean, it's
a great story. The guy's making like $60-something thousand a year, and they hit the hell out of it, and they'll run out of the yard every once in a while, but they do a lot of it station to station, extra base hits, and they're tough out, man. They at the plate, they find a way to extend it bats, but Van Horn for me, and I just want to see the guy win one. Because he's been close before. He's also a Northwestern State Demon, just so everybody knows. He was a Northwestern State Demon. Yeah, he was at Northwestern State. I think he's been at Northwestern State, Nebraska, and then Arkansas. He went to Nebraska from Northwestern State.
Okay, yeah.
We had a run of coaches at Northwestern State. We had Van Horn, Cohen, Gillespie, all were like back right at Northwestern State. So, but. Yeah, so I want him. He's just won for so long, hadn't won one. So you want him to win one. But
who was the football coach there for a long time? Like Sam Goodwin.
Sam Goodwin, yeah. Sam was there. I got there because I went there with Steve Roberts. So Coach Roberts replaced him, like in July. So you talking about how times have changed, Neal? So he did not have a contract. Sam Goodwin did not have a contract. So he went to the presidents. They just did like a handshake year-to-year agreement. And so the landscape of college football is changing. So he went to the president and said, "I'd like a contract," like a contract. And the president said no. So he said, "Deuces," like in July, July 20th. And so Steve Roberts was coaching at SAU, a Division II school. And so he came and took the job on short notice, was there. I joined him. So he coached that year. I went there as the tight ends coach that December, and then went with him to Arkansas State. So he was only there 2 years. But yeah, that was
I think whoever wins the Arkansas LSU game on Saturday, is it Saturday when they play?
I don't know.
I think it's Saturday. Whoever wins that game, I think, becomes the prohibitive favorite. Those are the two most talented rosters, deep rosters. I'm picking LSU to win the title.
Okay.
I hope I'm wrong. I'll be honest. I know a lot of young people that go to or went to Arkansas, and I'll be happy for them if they win it. And then I don't know Dave Van Horn. I know people who do, and they kind of swear by him.
You can't deny he's a good baseball coach because he's won everywhere he's ever been.
Well, it's the fascinating thing over the last 5 years that the SEC has won the national title. Like Mississippi State won it, Ole Miss won it, LSU won it, and Vanderbilt won it, right?
Tennessee, right?
Tennessee, that's right. And before that, Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Vanderbilt won in there somewhere.
But over the last 5 years, it's interesting. Those teams have all won national titles, and yet if you look at SEC records, Van Horn's had the best SEC record of all the teams. So I mean, he's kind of due, but it doesn't. This life doesn't work that way. They've been really close a couple of times, but boy, it's hard. Champion like that's the Thunder thing. Like it's the one thing. Like there are some Thunder fans that I know who are already doing the copium, going, well, we'll be back. And I'm like, you don't know that. I mean, you should. If you say we should get back, I'm like, yeah, you should. I mean, everything about you says you should get back. But it's sports. People get hurt. Yeah. People get hurt. Chemistry changes. Right. You know what I mean? I mean, look. I mean, not,
it does. It's
not to rub it in, right? But like, look at your Braves. Like this year, something's just kind of off. It doesn't mean they won't fix it. They still got time. There's 4 months left of the season, but starting to get a little late.
They did win a series. They did win a series. They did win a series. I will say this: the year they won it, was it 21? They won it. They were this time, like in July, they were awful. They got hot late. So maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of baseball left. I mean, I'm not counting them out. I'm just saying, but
they a long way back though.
Yeah, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. Sometimes a team just doesn't. It doesn't work out. A guy gets old. A guy gets hurt. Something just gets weird, and you look up, and there goes another season, and somebody gets hurt.
Yep, somebody gets old.
Look at the Thunder the last time they made the finals, 2012. Everybody went, oh, they'll be back. And they were 13 years later. I mean, but if you look at they traded James Harden. He wanted out. They had the best record in the NBA, and Russell Westbrook got hurt in the playoffs. A year after that, Kevin Durant had the foot thing. He missed a whole season. Then they lost in the Western Conference Finals. Then they lost in the Western Conference Finals, and then Durant left for Golden State, and you know the rest. I mean, there's no guarantee, and that's the crazy thing about sports. It's not like a corporation where you can sort of like, look, our numbers are really good. We're going to be fine.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sports are funky.
They're funky. As we close, I just want to say, again, big thank you to all the coaches. I got to see Tom Allen today. Got to see Thomas today. And obviously Matt Luke and all the coaches. They were great. Got to take all my nephews up there this morning to see everything. Just the nicest America's team. # America's team, the Clemson Tigers. Just the nicest people on the planet. Great, beautiful facility, by the way. They got, by the way, outside, they have, I guess, to keep their players, when they cook out and stuff, they have a putt-putt. They got a putt-putt course. They got a place to grill out. They got a pickleball court, a wiffle ball field, and a volleyball thing. They got all kinds of stuff there. It's a great facility. But thank you. It's very nice to those guys. Thank you so much for that. And also, we've been brought to you by Kia of Meridian. Don't let the tariff scare you away. Kia Meridian, because our fan favorites are built right here in the USA with interest rates as low as 1.9 on select models. With fresh deals, friendly faces, and fun rides, come see us at Kia Meridian. And don't forget to mention McCready Siskey so you can spin the wheel and win awesome prizes like a PS5 and Xbox TV and more. So give them a call at Kia Meridian at 601-483-6444. We're also brought to you by our good friends at County Line Campers. We're at Raleigh, Miss Destiny. All month long, do you have a trade? As long as they don't have to feed it, they absolutely need it. So they pay more for any quality trade-in than any big box store that you can find. Don't forget about the accessories and service. They have 6 huge bays with a service department that complete almost any job needed on any RV. So if you need warranty repairs, whether they are an authorized Keystone, Forest River, Gulfstream repair facility, they'll fix your rig even if you didn't purchase it from them. So make sure you check them out. at exit 110, exit 38 on I-10 there in Gulfport, Mississippi. And real quick before you go, I just, again, want to say a huge thank you to Rob, to Travis at Kia Marina, Rob at County Line Campers, Greg Cooper Chevrolet, and Bob at Monster Rain, and just been really good this past week with everything I went through and all that stuff, just with the schedule and knowing schedule's going to be off. Been just great, unbelievable people. Have become friends, and just want to encourage everybody to, if you get a chance, go help those guys out in their business as well.
Absolutely. Speaking of, we've been brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more. I don't know about next week. It's probably kind of doubtful. If Tyler's right and the NBA Finals go 7, we'll be back with you the day after, and your boy will either be – it'll be rough. Going to be rough one way or the other. But I'm emotionally prepared. I'm emotionally prepared for pain and heartache. I'm there. I'm there.
You'll be good, I promise. Everything will be all right.
But we'll be back with you then. I hope everybody is having a great summer. Enjoy it. Don't speed your way to the football season. Football season will be here. It will be here when it's time. That's how that works. Enjoy your summer. Enjoy your time with your family. And we will be back with you again soon. Until then, for Tyler, I'm Neal. Take care.